Yeah, I was about audience. I was about to point to Tamika. And y'all came on in. So welcome. Welcome to another session right here on the amazing 102.5 FM. We have Tamika with us. So y'all just listen and just go with it, okay? So when we be talking, we like right here. But then when you talk to the people personally, you're going to look right there.
Okay.
And that way they can feel it in their hearts. Y'all,
Okay.
she done came back from the motherland. That ain't even our business, but we're going to try to talk about that today as well. So Tamika, thank you for being here. It's good to see you. You look like you done went home and came back. How do you feel? Tell the people where you've been and how you feel. Then we're going to get to the real meat of the story.
Well, I feel like I went home and came back. And it was something amazing about seeing my likeness everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes.
And feeling welcomed and feeling the kindness and the warmness from everybody. It wasn't just because of anything. It was just because I was there and I'm alive. And I felt warm. Every man I met felt like my uncle if he was older than me. Or my brother if we were the same
felt
age.
like community.
Definitely. Something that I've always experienced that in my own community, but I think because it's only us there, that it was just on 10.
Ooh,
so
it's 2.0 community.
Yeah.
So you went, I knew that you were going to Tanzania. Tanzania is the actual country?
Tanzania is the country. It's in East Africa.
Okay,
it is the country. Dar es Salaam is the city that I was in. Actually went from Dar es Salaam to Kilimanjaro to Arusha and to Maturuni. And
these are all cities.
Yes. And I was having some Dr. Gina moments.
In what way? Because I'd be having variations. So what way?
Well, let me tell you, I remember at first I talked to you about us having a market, but things don't work out exactly how you want them to, but sometimes it's the best thing.
Yes.
So instead of having the market, we ended up traveling around the country and meeting artisans in their businesses.
That was better for them.
That was better for all of us.
Wow.
I got a chance to see established businesses that I wanted to partner with, and to see the excitement of them finding out that I'm there for that.
Yes.
At first I was there for shopping.
Yes.
Then I went back around and had my Dr. Gina moments to say, I'm here for another reason, and I'm so grateful to you, because I really realized in those moments how it must feel to be able to go into someone's business and bless them and to help them make a change, or to give them a resource that might help catapult a change.
Yes.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
But it is something that we plan to bring here.
Yes.
Because I wonder, while I was there, why is this not on everybody's vacation list?
Yes.
They need our help.
Yes.
Like, if there's something that we need, instead of going to Alibaba,
go there.
Go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're tapping into the heart of something we've mentioned on every segment this so far as we've talked about perseverance, is a sense of conscious consumerism, where when we can, we choose us. If we do it, consider us, choose us. So I think there's so much power in what you're sharing about your journey with other business owners. But for a moment, I want to bring our audience back to you. So tell them about your business. If they were looking for your services, how could they find you, locate you, all things that?
I'm the co-founder of Earth's Nectar Hair Care.
Talk to their hearts. They hearts right there.
I'm the founder of Earth's Nectar Hair Care. We are located in East Downtown, 203 Robert Street. We're a retail location, but we also have a salon space there where we style only natural hair. If we can do it with our hands, we offer it. We don't offer too many chemical services, maybe color, but for the most part, our products are handmade, our services are handmade. Everything about our company is rooted in this community. We've been in this community for 25 years.
Wow.
This is my 25th year styling. I am dedicated and have been every day to enhancing our natural beauty on every level, whether it be in a wellness space, which I'm sure we'll get to talk about, or with it being a product, or giving you advice on scalp care, or whatever it is that's related to your natural beauty when it comes to hair, skin, and just mental wellness.
Yes, thank you for that. And it really is that if you get opportunity, when you have opportunity to go by and visit her location, do you want to give the address, or you want them just to look it up?
Oh, sure. No, 203 Robert Street, East Downtown, 77003 is our address.
It's truly a lovely space, and I often think that it actually pays some sense of honor and respect like the environment that somebody invites you into speaks to what they think of you. And so I know you all, if you take a moment to just go by, you will feel proud of yourself, proud of Tamika. Like it's a really great space. So we salute you, and Monique, who probably don't want me to say her name, but
oh no, I always give Monique her flowers. She is an amazing designer. She's an artist. She is a graphic designer. She does most creative interior design for our space, and she's very thoughtful about it.
Yes,
and it's her gift. Yes. And so we are really proud of her.
And y'all both are a gift too. Like just that whole move to really, it's to me, when you're sitting in your space, in your chair, it's deeper than just I'm here to get a hairstyle. Like it's a person who really honors that there's beauty in you, and I see the beauty, and I'm here to push back against the external noises that would cause us to assess that we're not quite so. You are so is what it vibes to me. But Tamika, thank you again for being here. I know you're fresh off the plane, probably could use some days to go to sleep and get back into, but thank you for being here and just being a part of the work. And so this show is called The Lift. The whole purpose of it is to inspire and educate. Particularly as we enter this last quarter of the year. Can you believe it? We're going to literally be saying Merry Christmas in about 2 months and some days.
And when I see the Christmas decorations out, it's just triggering. Already. I'm like, is it time?
It's already. It's
time.
Like last quarter. And so we've been using today to really talk about perseverance. And so I'll just start there. In the same vein that one of our previous guests said, this year, if you had to complete that phraseology this year as a business owner, what would you say? What's your summary? Almost done with it at this point. What's your summary of this year?
Well, if I could, I'd like to go back a couple of years that brought me to this year, because when COVID happened, my business was closed.
Yes.
And so it was a pivot that it was unavoidable.
Yes.
So it was one of those make or break moments.
Yes.
And so at that time, I was just really married to the idea of a larger staff, of more space, of more. But I realized
more is in bigger.
More is in everything. More inventory, more people, more everything. But I realized that after I actually took a look at my finances, I could make more with less. I just didn't think of it that way.
So give us a tangible example, because somebody's processing. More does seem to be bigger, multiplied, like, yes, growth. So what did less being more? You know what? Jehovah raised his hand, honey. And so this is what we're going to do, y'all. I'm going to give a question so we can be processing it, because you said you realized, what did you realize again?
I could have more with less.
You could have more with less. So y'all keep it right here on the amazing 102.5 FM. We're going to come back, and Tamika's going to drop these nuggets about how we can have more with less. Y'all stay here with us. Welcome back. And as I said before, we have Tama Fletcher in the studio with us today. She is from Earth Nectar. Where did that name come from?
Natural Resources was our salon name.
Okay.
And when we were looking at products and we were thinking about what is the core of anything that's good, especially anything organic, is usually nectar.
Okay.
And it comes from the earth.
Okay.
Always.
So just the simplicity of that.
Just the simplicity of it.
Because I honestly, in that moment when I said that, I was thinking, because when I associate nectar, I think about something sweet. I don't know where I've heard nectar used that would make me think that it's sweet. But so the root of things is nectar and then earth. So great name. It feels just clean and all good stuff, right? And your lip gloss, it's beautiful too.
Thank
What
you.
the situation is that? I know, listen, we coming to the real topic.
Now, this may not be organic, but I think it's like a Wet n Wild,
old
something
school.
Simple. And very old school,
but
too.
Maybe it just fits the whole thing, so it looks great. So, y'all, we're not giving them people they don't pay these people no advertising, so we just chatting, okay?
Right.
But anywho, all right, so you were saying that you learned that you could get more, do more with less. Talk to us a bit about that. And for those of you who are just jumping on, we're talking about perseverance and this idea you had to kind of pivot in COVID, during, post-COVID.
We were closed. And so I learned that I needed to spend more time marketing my product. I was working so hard in my business that I wasn't working for my business. So I stopped working in my business because I had to. Because I had to close.
In your business, meaning you were so busy doing people's hair, creating product. That's working in your business versus what does it look like to say you're working for your business?
At this point, I can market more. I can look at my finances and make forecasts on things that I wasn't paying attention to. I can look and really look at my budget to see, is it better to have a larger staff? Because with a larger staff, that means more expenses. Sometimes, even though I love the mentorship and I love the opportunity to serve more customers, I had to be realistic about what can I afford to do. And once we took a look at it, it made more sense to downsize. And actually, we ended up, I feel like this year was our best year.
Wow.
And I didn't expect that. We got a chance to spend more time with our partners. We sell through Macy's. We sell through Bloomingdale's. Those were all amazing opportunities. But I didn't get a chance to really focus on those partnerships because I was too busy focusing on service. And I'm still focused on my service every day. But it just gave me an opportunity to try and figure out how to make better forecasts for my business and really base them on my finances. Not working so fast and so hard that I'm just in the moment.
Yes.
And I'm surviving the business every day.
Yes.
Instead of surviving it, I wanted to make it profitable and to be sure that I could make the forecast to make sure that it could be.
Yes.
But before, I think I was just in such this, grind and the superwoman cape on. I got a chance to take my cape off, to sit down, and then one day I looked up and said, what is this feeling that I have that I just can't identify? Oh, I'm happy.
Wow.
I'm happy.
You're happy.
I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm not stressed. I'm happy that I get it. Not that I'm happy that my business is closed. That was not it. I was just happy that something forced me to stop.
I think that's the piece that I'm processing, and I think that's what's crucial. If this year in many ways for some people have been slower, one of our guests said political year, port nuances, the weather, all things that, for you it was COVID, but it still gets us back to the same place, that instead of being in the grind and the hustle, you were actually planning for prosperity and planning for profit. So any business owner can choose in this moment, if slow is what they've got, to instead of bemoaning that, they can make this a moment. Like you literally use that moment, which then now sustains you or equips you to be able to persevere, to hang in here.
And making this the best year. And not just financially. You can't go back, but definitely
different.
And making time for a grant application.
Yes.
Not something that I would have been able to think about probably 2
That's
years ago.
interesting. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Because one, I'm probably, I'm not organized. I didn't have myself organized enough. I would have said, oh, I don't have time. But I found myself this year more organized.
Yes.
Better equipped to even answer the questions because I knew where my heart was and what I wanted to do. But before, while I'm in, grind mode with my superwoman cape on and running around putting out fires, that's not something that forward thinking is hard when you are trying to make past today.
Yes, there's some quote, and I forget who said it, but I think it's so powerful. It says that thinking itself is a luxury. That people who are in the grind of, I need to keep my lights on, I need to feed the kids, I need to get gas, they don't even have the luxury to think. And so for our listeners, as we kind of process this in the context of perseverance, you're actually allowing us to reframe how we think about, like, down times is what we call them, or slow times. You're inviting us to actually reframe. And instead of this, like, perhaps slow moment causing someone to give up or forfeit their business, it actually could be a critical point of planning, of being proactive. And it could actually, as you say, set them up in your world to be one of your best years.
Absolutely. I remember I was it was the deadline for submitting the grant application through Houston Equity Fund was 12 p.m.
That would be us, y'all. I mean, being humble about it, but it would be us.
I promise you, even at 11:30, I hadn't pressed send because there was just some piece of me that just kept saying, it's not complete. It's not, is this correct? Are these, is this what I want to submit? And even after pressing submit, wondering, did I finish this? But I said, all I can do is put my heart into it, and we'll see what happens. And grateful still, I probably think about it every 20 minutes every day, how I almost didn't press send. And then look, we were granted, we were awarded. So that to me, it will always be a pivotal moment in my thinking process to stop myself when I'm doubting myself and press send.
I think that's a good place to prepare to segue. So y'all, we're gonna go. See, I was right on. We was aligned, Jehovah. Y'all best believe I'm gonna work in Jehovah's name at some point on the broadcast. I know I don't even have to talk to my engineer, but I'd like to say his name. Anywho, but I think that's gonna be where we'll end the final segment. I need to quit saying too, but we're gonna do that because I think that's important when we're talking about perseverance. This notion of dealing with ourselves, about weeding ourselves out, counting ourselves out, not betting on ourselves. We've had other guests talk about like pushing through and having made up mind and doing the work, and all of those things are critical for us, shutting out the noise of what other people say. Tamika, I think though your entry of that gives us a very important something to talk about too as it relates to perseverance, because I could honestly say that it is often not what external people have said to me that discourages me the most. It's what I say to me, right? And so
absolutely.
This thing that you're saying, that even down to like that, you're still, I think that's a good place to really talk about so that other business owners and nonprofit leaders can really assess. Like the world loves to lie on haters. Honey, it don't even be that many people hating. They don't even be. It's what we tell us. So y'all keep it right here on the amazing 102.5 FM. We'll be right back with the lovely Tamika, who has on lip gloss from a person that we not promoting and all things there. We promote her products, okay? So y'all keep it right here. We'll be right back. Honey, y'all, we had to loop and bring y'all back because me and Tamika had already jumped back into the topic, and I had to remember, and then Jehovah, you have to count me in, okay, y'all? So we back now. All right, so we are talking about like in my mind, because I know the other side of those results. I'm thinking, what if you hadn't have believed in yourself, y'all? So on this final little piece with Tamika on perseverance, we want to really hone in that, because your own thoughts, your own self-talk, it's about to cancel you out on some stuff. So go ahead, just share.
Well, I think of faith as something similar to a muscle that you work on and you build up, right? But I think it's life moments that kind of make the muscle strong or make it weak. I feel very strong now because I've had a yes, a big yes. And so I think that helps me flex my muscle, my faith muscle, better everywhere. So I'm looking for the yeses and giving myself just affirmations every day that are more positive and more in line with the things that I do want, and to not even give thought or breath to the things that I don't want.
Yes.
Because I know that big yeses are absolutely possible.
Yes.
And so now I'm thinking bigger than ever. And I think that your muscle has to be strengthened, and it takes something. Sometimes it's being awarded a grant. Sometimes it's, any type of goal that you've set, that you actually reach the top of it, and you can see the potential and you see your idea come to fruition. It's just another way to build that muscle. So I'm grateful that I've had a big yes now, so that I'm able to move around differently.
And for the person who even may just be jumping on, or someone who's processing that, I honor the grant, right? Like the fact that you got the grant. I think I'm clear, though, that the wind is not the grant. The grant is like a residue or a plus. I think the wind is the win. And so I say this for everybody, whether you're listening and you got a grant or you didn't get a grant. I think the win is that you didn't allow you to talk you out of betting on you.
That's
right. Is that what you would unearth for it as well? Like, that's bigger than even the check. The check is great, but you never would have made it to the check.
That I trusted myself.
Trust yourself.
That I finished the process. Regardless of what I felt strong press and send. Just saying I finished it.
Yes.
I finished it, and I felt prepared for it, and whatever happens, I'll be glad.
You're giving your best at that point.
I've given my best, yes. And I think sometimes we work so hard inside of our businesses every single day that you don't take time out for the growth of the business.
Yes.
Because you're in work mode.
Yes.
But then when you take time out to do things that actually help your business grow and they are successful, then it helps you know that I can take time away. I can take time away from the working in the business to work on the business.
Yes. So there were so many beautiful nuggets in there that I'm hoping that we glean. So as we are processing perseverance, what I hear largely in your message, and it's no denying she got to the grant, we celebrating happy and all of that, but you all are winning all the time with or without a check. Like every time somebody, the fact that they open the doors, I am sure somebody in the path to open the doors to any of our businesses said something that would have caused you to second guess if this was good, right? And that's the external noise. But when you began to share, I was like, oh, it wasn't even nobody there. That was Tamika talking to Tamika. That was Tamika's,
Well,
not,
honestly,
you know, and you had to work through that for yourself.
I shared it with so many people to tell them it's open. Go apply. And I got a lot of strange answers. That's not going to happen. That's not real. Well, when you get it, we'll see. Come back and tell me about it. It was a lot of negative, a lot of positive, but you know, the thing that usually stands out are the negative comments.
Right.
And honestly, people acted like I was talking about a pie in the sky. And I said, no, I mean, it's a real thing that's happening. You should apply for your own business. You know, at the end of the day, I have done that more than once in moments when I felt like something was good for me, but I didn't complete it.
Yes, I can agree with that too. I get it. I get why people would talk themselves out of it, why people would be cynical, why people would not believe that it's true. And then I also, though, particularly living through this project, understand that things can impact us, but what it didn't do was take your hope. What it didn't, because even if you wasn't quite sure if you would get it, you were like, well, I'm still going to present. And even though some of them kind of acted away, you didn't allow that to make you say, well, me, I'm not going to do it either. Yeah.
But I was really proud to be able to assure them, yes, it is. Now I want you to go to the website. There are lots of resources there. There's lots of things that you can learn from, and you can still be a part of the process. And I can tell you that I'm living standing proof
that it's real.
That it is real.
Yeah, and I mean, we couldn't be prouder. And we have more things to come. Tamika, we're finishing this project, but we're working on the next, right? And so for anybody then, if you didn't hear anything today in this session, please hear to believe in yourself, bet on yourself, push through. Is that what you would say to me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Give it a chance, and she is living proof that it does work. One more time for the folk on the side row and the back row. If they want to know what you do and where they can find you, go ahead and share with them.
Again, I'm Tamika Fletcher, the co-founder of Earth's Nectar Hair Care. We're on Instagram as Earth's, EARTHS_Nectar. We are located in East Downtown at 203 Robert Street. And we're at storefront in the salon. We have something really special coming up that we'd love to share more with you about. So if you go to our website, it's earthsnectar.com. Sign up for the emails. We're having an amazing Made in Africa market for the holidays so that we all have an opportunity to support all of the artisans in Tanzania and East Africa that really need our support and love. So if you're interested, you can find out more through email or on our Instagram.
I'm interested. So you all, thank you again for tuning in today on the amazing 102.5 FM with our special guest, Tamika Fletcher. Her business partner is Monique. They're both incredible women, and we are all about conscious consumerism, y'all. Y'all know I've been saying on every segment, and that just literally means be conscious. Be conscious of who you choose and how you choose and why you don't choose. And when we have opportunity to choose us. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.